Hi there, welcome to FMCG by Alex. My name is Alex, and today I would like to talk to you about the channel strategy or the route to market explained. So, first of all, let's start with what is a channel strategy and why should you apply it? Channel strategy is, in essence, deciding where you should sell. So, is more always better? In FMCG, distribution is a key success factor. So, usually for FMCG products, more distribution and more places to sell is better. In the end, it's also not as strict as you might think, but you have premium products, you have mid-price products, and you have budget products, basically, yeah, like low-price products. These are value items. You can't apply the same method of distribution there. So selective distribution is usually applied for more premium products. So the more limited places where these products are being sold, usually the stock turns or the quantities sold are also smaller, meaning that the merchants, so the retailers that you are supplying, it doesn't pay to actually have one street of full of stores that are selling the same product. You will not sell more by definition, and the merchants are all struggling for making a profit or turning a profit basically. So selective distribution can also be like, look, I am selecting one store in an area to sell my product if it's a premium product, or one retail chain, for example, which is carrying my product. So these are examples of selective distribution. Then it's also very prudent to understand where do customers expect to find your product. So let's say if you are selling vitamins, so I've sold vitamins in my life, you're looking at pharmacies, drugstores to find these products. Would you find them in other channels? Maybe in supermarkets, there might be a corner for vitamins. There might be other channels that you would expect these products to pop up. Would you expect these products to pop up in every single channel? Maybe not. Yeah. So this is actually where your customers are looking for these products, and in some cases, it can actually be very good to cultivate so-called exclusive channel partnerships. So exclusive channel partnerships are channels that, let's say, for the sake of vitamins, there is a very good example of a company in the Netherlands that used hair salons as a distribution channel for their vitamins. Uh, so they were the only one there. They had a product that was very good for hair growth, or at least it was stimulating hair growth, giving vitamins for hair growth, something like that, biotin. And in the end, you basically could leverage the fact that they were the only brand there. So every time people were going there for a haircut or whatever treatment, basically they would be confronted with these vitamins. So whether the sales were spectacular, I don't know, but at least it helped as a marketing channel and of course also a distribution channel. In some cases you can, there's in India, there's a quite an interesting example where, one of the major brands there started with an exclusive channel. Basically, Vedic, Vedic products, basically, where they were, basically utilizing these centers that are there in every city, as a distribution channel. People were going there for a treatment, and therefore were confronted with that product, and nobody else was actually going into that channel at that particular time. So that's something you can leverage as an exclusive channel partnership. And of course, when you have an exclusive partnership, these partnerships also can lead to very interesting cross promotional opportunities. Now, if you go to channels, let's say you are a premium brand and you're selling in a discounter, let's say you're selling into Lidl or Aldi, or maybe there's an Action in the Netherlands that is or in Europe there are several discount retailers like that. Even though the value is good, the volume is good, you get a good price, you get good volumes basically, but it can really lead to customers thinking, "Oh, this is actually not a premium brand anymore," because they are selling into discount supermarkets. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. If you look at Asia, you have the same thing. Like I've worked a long time in Indonesia, where you're selling certain items. You're selling into a premium supermarket like Chemchicks or Food Hall, but maybe not into Tip Top or supermarkets are really very much focused on promotions, maybe not necessarily cheap supermarkets, but they're very focused on promotions. And buy two get one, like Hari Hari, Naga, all these supermarkets that have like a value profile, basically. So then, last but not least, the importance of online channels. So basically, you have, of course, 2025 is at the doorstep. We're at the doorstep of 2025. I was about to say. So you're looking at availability. Okay, online means that there's no shelf space online, so there's no replenishment other than your fulfillment center. You send it directly to customers. These online channels also come in many forms. You have people who are really, trying to undercut the official channel. So you have your official store. So brand A has an official store called Store of Brand A. And then there is a reseller who says, I am 50% cheaper than the store of brand A because I'm using my discount that I'm getting from this brand to undercut them. So there are two strategies. Basically, one is to let it, so just to keep your online channel as something that you are using as a service item, just making sure everybody wants to have your product. It's there basically, and actually to keep the list price as the benchmark where everybody else can make an undercut it. But again, this is also something that you need to keep in mind, that it will eventually come back to haunt you if you are looking at a premium positioning where the price needs to be high. The point for me is that premium, and I've worked for premium companies like Ultramilk in Indonesia, for example, was a premium brand at the time that I worked there. Promotions were almost non-existent. We did promotions because we had to. We were actually not allowed to keep promotions from retailers, trading terms and all those things. But we had short supply. We didn't have enough product to push the sales even. So at that point, yeah, you're trying to sell as much as possible at the maximum price, because in the end, all these products would be sold anyway, so you don't have to do a discount. However, these premium products that you say, like you were discounting too much, you are expecting this product to always be discounted. So you're waiting for the next discount. So in the end, this is something where a premium product, it should be a very big thing when they are discounting once, once a month or once every 2 months or once a quarter. They're never on discount basically. And if you're always on discount, there's a very famous example of a product called Tim Tam in Indonesia, which is made by Arnott's. Arnott's is quite a good company, but unfortunately, the brand has been, mismanaged, I would say, in the past, due to the fact that this was chain linked with promotions. They were, not doing things right with the channel strategy. They were adding it to bundling with a lot of different things, and it was actually constantly on promotion, so nobody would buy it anymore at the regular price, because nobody would know anymore what the regular price was, because you always had it on promotion. It has recovered a little bit since then, but I guess that is one of the examples where you have something beautiful, which is a very delicious product. I would hardly recommend it, so I don't want the people from Arnold's now to be angry with me that I'm bashing their brand. I'm just bashing the story behind the brand. The brand is very good in the end. Just to give you an impression that is, what can happen if you neglect this. So, importance of online channels definitely is in that light. Also, keep an eye on who is discounting what and where. So when I'm talking about channel strategy, of course, you want to see what are the channels. So this is not an exhaustive list, but I mean, you have the regular ones for hypermarket, supermarket, which hypermarket is the larger outlets. This not every country has them. Supermarkets, regular supermarkets, then mini markets and convenience stores. So mini markets are slightly larger than convenience stores. Usually convenience stores are more on the go, out of home type of thing. And you have discounters. Discount supermarkets can be in many sizes, also hypermarket size. But this is usually the Aldi, Lidl of this world. Basically, you have a number of others who fall in this category. You have a lot of non-food retailers, do-it-yourself retailers, hardware stores, a lot of these outlets that are selling. You're not really sure what they're selling because they're selling so many different things that they also pack in a little bit of food and FMCG basically. Traditional traders are the mom and pop traditional retail stores, like unorganized retail basically in various countries. Some countries have them, some countries don't. Traditional trade would definitely be something that is not modernized. It's actually a traditional non-cash register outlet basically. Then you have horeca, hotel, restaurant, cafe basically, which is any hospitality. Then you have the official online store. So the official online store is your own official online store, and then you have online resellers, which are people who buy from you and then resell it online. These can be offline retailers who also have an online presence. Normally, that is more the trend these days. So this is something that happens quite a lot at this moment because sales teams are blending a little bit where it's not really clear what is online and offline because most retailers have this maybe all retailers by now have this blend basically. And so you can sell to a retailer, hey, it's doing very well, this is an offline retailer, but secretly they're selling everything online with a discount. So be aware that that can also really be very detrimental to your brand. And now we come to the nitty gritty of the entire video, because now I've spoken to you about what and why and what are the channels, of course. You want to know how to formulate a strategy. So we are talking about why should you do this? It's actually sustainable growth over peaks and dips. So if you are launching a product, you would like to grow sustainably. Sustainable means that the growth doesn't disappear tomorrow. If you are doing big orders, like say one-time shots to various projects or various large retailers that are going to order from you, like in campaign mode. So okay, I'm a discounter and I'm going to order from you 100,000 units of your product, 100,000 cartons. Then it's nice. You really enjoy it. At this moment, you have your growth is through the roof. Maybe you have a problem with financing it over if you're a smaller company, but in essence, okay, it's great. Like let's enjoy and let's give everybody a bonus. Now that's something that is not repeatable. So unless you have a deal that you can do it every month, but repeatable growth like that, it's also something that will make you very dependent on one channel. So if you say like, oh, I'm selling 50,000 units in my other channels and 100,000 units in the discounter, the imbalance in the channel contribution will lead to a problem later on, because if that one channel is suddenly saying, hey, unless you give me a bigger discount, I'm not buying from you anymore, you're a captive supplier. So this is what I'm trying to say with peaks and dips. Every FMCG company has a production process that has production managers buying raw materials, planning production times, and the entire logistics process that is actually going to be attached to it. To scale that up or scale that down is very difficult. So you need to plan ahead. You can't say to someone, hey, this month I'm hiring 5 more people and next month I'm firing 5 more people because I don't need them anymore. Unless it's something with a daily worker thing, I guess it's difficult to accomplish. But I mean, that's not the way to run a company. Yeah? You are trying to build something that today you're selling to, tomorrow 3, the day after 4, etc., etc. So these peaks and dips make it more easy to predict. You're less prone to impact from things that happen in the market. So if there is, let's say, one large retailer not buying from you anymore, are you having a problem or not? So that is actually the reason why sustainable growth is very important. And those peaks and dips, even though it might be something you can't avoid and you can't say no, and it's so sweet cherry on the cake basically. Try to avoid being dependent on this. That is what I'm trying to say here. So this is the introduction towards like, okay, how and why should you have a channel strategy. So uh, trying to make the sales more predictable is actually something that benefits you in the long term. So you need to look at positioning, so and where your customers are. So your positioning of your product. Let's say you have a premium product, then the premium customers that are and the customers can be a profile that you need to put together. Let's say your ideal customer is a female buyer between 30 and 40, and living in a suburban area. Then you need to basically look at outlets and channels that are serving these people. So where are these people going? Are they members of clubs? Are they going for hair treatment? Are they going for massage? Are they going to preschools? Are they going to, do they have kids in your profile, basically? So these are all identifiers where you can say, hey, this is the channel that I need to access this customer, basically. So the positioning is key here, and then looking at the where these customers are and where they're going, where they're shopping, to be there. Then the second element is geographic coverage. So you have, besides, okay, which channels. If you look at usually what I used to do was when I go to a city, basically, and say, look, where are the premium areas? So let's say where do the rich people live? That is more or less like the well-off people, not rich people, but well-off people. Then you have some elite complexes. Let's say in Indonesia, that was certain cities, we say secondary cities. Okay, then at least you need to be in the supermarkets or the outlets close to these housing complexes, basically. So if you are looking at a premium product, if it's not a premium product, yeah, of course, it's less important to be there. But I mean, usually these are the people who have money, people who have disposable income to buy the product. And if the product is premium, yeah, then it fits with that profile. So the geographic coverage is very important. So if you are not covering those areas, and these supermarkets actually, or these outlets are where this target audience is going, and your product is not there, yeah, you have a problem. So these are things that you need to keep in mind. Then, as I mentioned before, you can cultivate exclusive channels. Exclusive, I put in brackets because you might not be exclusive, but you might be having less competition. If you look at, now I mentioned pharmacies before, but supermarkets is a good example because supermarkets have tens of thousands of products. You are, if you have orange juice, then you are next to 15 other brands of orange juice. So that is actually something that is a lot of competition. So yes, people are going to there and look for orange juice, but um, will they pick your orange juice or one of the 14 other brands that are there? So depending on who is on promotion at that particular moment, who has someone with a sampling activity there, who had a TV commercial out this week, all these things are playing a part in the entire equation. So exclusive channels means, then, if you have orange juice, yeah, you can sell it in another type of outlets. Yeah, maybe gyms or whatever. If there's a gym, say, okay, fresh orange juice, fresh squeezed orange juice, for example. I don't know. It's like it's not fresh squeezed if it's in a pack, but I mean that sort of thing. It could be positioned as a sports drink, or it could be positioned as a boost for your energy or something like that. So. Other channels that you are accessing where these products could fit, and orange juice might not be the best example, but like I said before, this vitamin brand that was actually going to access hairdressers in the Netherlands, for example, that was an exclusive channel. I know, for example, for UVit gummy vitamins, we were very successful in these non-traditional exclusive channels where um, we had, for example, hardware stores, Ace Hardware, Mr. DIY. These channels were very popular for us because we had an impulse-prone product, like we had very packaging that is very attractive, and yeah, other channels, for example, Gramedia bookstores, yeah, where you basically have kids coming for school supplies and books and all these things. Yeah, then, of course, also a kids range of products would do well there. So it's something that you need to keep in mind that it really depends very much on the brand. But exclusive channels, meaning not so nice exclusive, but you have some peace and quiet there because you're not next to 14 others who are also trying to sway the customer. And yeah, people are going there anyway and looking at whether it fits or not. You have to be very careful with it, of course, if you put it in places where it has a negative effect on your brand, then it could be a problem. So you say, hey, there is a bar where people drink alcohol and smoke, for example, and you put a health product there, yeah, it will be less effective and less good for your image than when you put it in a place where health is actually and it's a healthy product. Health is actually the center stage of the equation. So make sure also when you are adding new channels that it does not compete with your existing channels. So um, it's basically if you look at purely people look purely at the bottom line, whether or not something is profitable or not. Okay, I'm going to push a lot of stock into a discounter um, at a large discount, obviously, because they have to give them a good price. So the volume is there, the mass market is there. Then your regular channels who bought from you at the regular price and also selling at the regular price, they will not sell that much anymore because hey, this product is also at a discounter for much less. Why should I buy at the regular price in the regular channel? So these people will be upset. So you started with those guys; they have some loyalty. You are looking at how to yeah defend that basically. Just an example here was that I launched a craft beer brand a couple of years ago in the Netherlands. So I started with a couple of specialist stores. So these were people who sell wine and whiskey and craft beer, basically. So they were very small outlets that very personal approach where people advise, this is like off licenses, basically. So purely selling alcohol, nothing else. And at some point, yeah, I was asked by supermarkets to also go and supply them. And at some point, even though I wasn't completing directly, yeah, I was trying to keep the areas separate by, not letting a supermarket right next to an off license sell the same product for a lower price or for the same price. These off licenses were actually not amused that I was going into supermarkets because, that would compete directly with them. So, if it's there, then I don't need to sell it because you are a supermarket brand. You're already not a premium product anymore. You're not an exclusive product anymore. So these off licenses could be quite, or the specialist stores could be quite loyal to the brands that they were supporting. So I respected that also, that they were not willing to sell my products anymore. But the volume wasn't there. The volume was in the supermarket. So that was the choice based on that. And then I embraced that choice by, okay, then I make it a supermarket brand and I'm going for mass market only. So not going after off licenses anymore. So this is something that, I guess one channel objecting to another channel. The same is if you are selling online. So if you're selling with deep discounts online, you're selling to resellers online. Yeah, there are offline retailers who will at some point look at online sales of online prices and say, hey, why am I buying from you at this if it's for sale at this price? So these are all things that can play a part in competition with existing channels. Now, as I mentioned before, also try to avoid being a promo brand, or maybe you want to be a promo brand, but then your brand equity will be like nobody will ever buy at the real price. So if you have a high price and you use that only as a benchmark to promo and a discount, yeah, okay, that's fine. But then you're a fighting brand basically, where you are discounting constantly. And if it's a premium brand and you are constantly chain linking promos, so it's never available at the real full price, yeah, then people have no reference of that. So if you are doing that, yeah, don't be surprised that at some point people are not buying at the full price anymore and just waiting for the next promo to happen. So then, as I mentioned before, like mass market versus premium image. So if you have something that is very exclusive, so let's say very exclusive bottled water, and you are also selling it into supermarkets and not only into the five-star hotels that you were targeting initially, or the high-class horeca that you were targeting, basically, then um, yeah, the premium image will erode because it's available everywhere. As soon as something is available everywhere, it's not premium anymore. So even though it can still be a good brand, it can still be a premium brand within that category, but it still is, oh, it's available at the local supermarket. Therefore, the premium image, the exclusivity, meaning it's harder to get or harder to find, or I only find it there. I associate it only with going to a golf course. Then it's there at the clubhouse, basically. Then I'm drinking that brand. Yeah, that's something that you are losing if you are going into mass market as well. Um, the thing that some brands do, and this is something that maybe in the context of this craft beer example that I just gave, that there were other companies that were selling craft beer to the same channels. They were dividing their range. So they had a couple of products that they were selling into supermarkets, and there were a couple of products that they were only selling into off licenses. So they had specific items for each channel. So you see that sometimes also where like they have two varieties, two flavors of a product. So you have peach and cherry, for example, and then the peach is sold in supermarket A and cherry is sold in supermarket B. So both of these supermarkets have an exclusive product. Uh, that's something that doesn't happen that often. That happened here in the Netherlands once in a while, but I mean, just to give you the impression that the effective way of doing it for the big brands. Like say, take Coca-Cola for example. They sell Coca-Cola in all of the major supermarkets. They also wanted to go into the discounters a couple of years ago. So they made a deal with Aldi. Aldi is a very famous discounter from Germany, very good company, very profitable. I'm personally a big fan of Aldi. These guys are selling Coca-Cola in Aldi, but the product was in a specific bottle. So this bottle size was not the same as the bottle size in, let's say, Albert Heijn or Jumbo or one of the other larger supermarket chains. So specific packaging, specific Aldi size, basically, and therefore also specific Aldi price. In the end, at the end of the first year of doing business with Aldi, Coca-Cola did not sell more soda by definition. So Aldi was selling well, but um, yeah, they were not selling. They were actually having minus growth in other channels. So I don't know whether this was the wisest choice. That was actually also questioned at that time in the Distrifood trade magazine and various newspaper articles. But yeah, creating a range for multiple, it can be based on packaging, specific packaging for a channel. It can be based on a specific size for the channel or specific flavors. So you have different products for different channels. There are examples also where the famous brand Aqua, which is a bottled water brand in Indonesia, owned by Danone. These guys actually had a mass market product called Aqua. So mass market meaning like it's, yeah, almost the category became the brand name. If you go to a restaurant and you almost automatically you ask for aqua, but so meaning I want to have a bottle of water, and whatever other brand people bring you, it's fine, but you still ask for aqua. Aqua is actually what people equate with bottled water because they were the first one. Now they launched on the lower end of the market. They launched a brand called Vit, which is a fighting brand, so it's a lower priced item. Funny thing is, it comes from the same factory. The only thing is the label is different. But because water is water in the end, let's face it. So they had that lower priced product for traditional trade and price sensitive customers basically. So they had more distribution. They were fighting with brands also that were actually lower priced in the market, so they could actually compete with fighting brands basically. Now, on the other hand, they had a premium brand because premium Horeca, they had a different way of serving product. You would, let's say, if you're in a five-star restaurant or let's say a premium restaurant, and someone puts a plastic bottle of water next to you, that's the ambiance is a bit gone, you know. So what they designed was water in a in a glass bottle, and they called it reflections, aqua reflections. Still, it's the same water. It's just the packaging, of course, was more premium and more expensive. So in the end, pricing, of course, was higher. And for these channels, that was a very interesting thing to, to put on the table for their customers. Equil and Aqua were head to head, basically, as the two brands were, for Horeca, because they were served in glass bottles. Um, this is to give you an impression of how different packaging for different channels actually is put into play. And it doesn't have to be always cheaper. It can also be more expensive with the same content, obviously. So it's just, like I said, in a five-star restaurant, you don't expect a glass, less than a glass bottle. You don't expect a plastic bottle to be put on the table next to your glass of wine, basically. So this is something that I think illustrates the opportunities and the possibilities for creating a range for multiple channels. So this was my very last video for 2024. I hope you enjoyed my ranting. I can be a bit long, but when I get excited about something like FMCG and FMCG distribution, I'm doing this for the fun of it after all. So I don't have a hobby. I just do this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you would like to send me a message, alex@thefreesalesconsultancy.com. That is my email address. I do consultancy. I would love to have a discussion with anyone about the contents of this. And don't forget to look out for my new book, which is going to be published in 2025, which is also about fast-moving consumer goods distribution, and will be incorporating a lot of the content from my video and the videos on my channel. Thank you, and I wish you the best for 2025. Bye-bye.